3, 2, 1.
Starting into this first weapon could be really important. Simple's going to go for 2 hits there. Instead of just grabbing the recovery and then going back to the weapon spawn, Simple coming right out of the gate, putting a lot of pressure on Pavelski. Pavelski's able to grab a weapon pretty quickly, though, but man, he's taking so much damage. Already see a D-Sig coming out, loving that.
Might have been watching the last set and was like, oh yeah, I could do that too. I also have a Bode Bar, but we're seeing Pavelski make the swap over to the Gauntlets, wants to get that slightly faster damage build than the sword. Downlight Nair dare this time into a side sig, and Simple forced very far off stage, but makes it back safely. Downlight dare into a GC. Endlight again just building the damage for the N-Sig to knock out.
And we've already seen that N-Sig come out twice. That is a favorite of Pavelski. I was wondering if he was going to continue that in 1s like he was doing in 2s before. We've already seen it happen several times so far. I wonder the next time he hits a D-Light Nair dare on Gauntlets, what his follow-up is going to be after the dare. Whether he's going to go try to reload again with the side sig, maybe go for a neutral sig or a recovery or something else. Whether he wants to go low or high after that dare.
It'll be interesting. Maybe he won't even go for the dare. Usually, you'll see the recovery instead of the dare in that position, but right now it doesn't even have to think about it as just these downward attacks, the dare, the ground pound, the down toss, all catching Simple on the head.
And Simple was really the pressure giver so far in the beginning of the first stock at least, but then all of that changed. Pavelski playing very quickly now. Simple's just a little bit behind, so Pavelski's sitting on a decent lead, but Simple's starting to take that away. He's also takes away the weapon spawn on the field. It's going to be a hammer, but he throws it away. Again, another weapon spawn. He's got the power of weapon spawns on his side, and again, he gets to another one. Pavelski forever unarmed. And
another one. Simple has kept Pavelski unarmed for so incredibly long. And you're seeing Pavelski like try to get past, finally picks up a weapon spawn, but Simple had all that time to just completely steal the damage advantage.
We saw the double nair, though. He might start bringing that back. The weapon toss goes for the neutral sig immediately after that. Doesn't end up hitting. D-Light recovery from Simple, going to KO off the top. Is Simple red? No, he's not. He's still orange after that unarmed recovery. Weapon spawn comes in, has a little bit better luck this time, getting to it almost immediately.
Yeah, that was a really good GC downlight in response to Pavelski's GC downlight, which was just a little bit lower. Simple was able to be above it enough to lead out to the knockout. Pavelski with the patience sees the dodge through into the recovery, and that's going to be the stock. Even are going to be sticking with the sword for the final stocks here in game number 1.
Spawn coming out. Ooh, in-light dash jump side air, in-light D-Sig. Good damage put out. Strip the weapon away for a little bit. Now Simple's able to grab the sword. It's sword v sword here on Demon Island in game 1 between Simple and Pavelski. Both of them basically dead even here. Goes for the D-Light. Pavelski dodges high on it. More neutral sigs coming out. Goes for it even again.
4 of the last 6 attacks from Pavelski have been that neutral signature. He's really looking for it. I don't know if Simple would get knocked out, considering this is Demon Island. It does have one of the higher ceilings in the game, but Pavelski really trying to push that one out there, going for the downlights, not able to hit it, going to be going over to the Gauntlets. Has to look for a setup. There is no easy true combo for the knockout for Gauntlets.
Side air to start it off. Simple going to be able to punish any landing with a downlight, or is he going to just go for the raw Sair, raw Nair?
Watch the N-Sig. Simple went above him, but the weapon toss leads to a pickup stomp side air, and Simple going to take game number 1.
Now, if you're a Pavelski fan, that worries me a little bit. The fact that the game 1, that you may expect Pavelski to come out on top with that Val, Simple already adapted to it. Like the first few seconds of the game were going towards Simple, but then most of the rest of the game went towards Pavelski, but Simple was still able to come back from that. So we'll see how that changes. Still have the Demon Island left open, and that's where Simple chooses to go. Stance-wise, we're seeing strength stance from Pavelski. Definitely a smart choice there. We're also seeing strength from Simple, of course, because it takes out of dexterity. Bodvar is not really going to feel that whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely above the minimum dex threshold for sword and hammer. So he's perfectly fine to put into that strength, get that extra damage on those hits, especially against Val, which not that she's one of the tankiest legends in the game, but she definitely has quite a bit in comparison.
A lot of distance between the two. That may be behind the judgment call of throwing out that D-Sig. Just goes for the D-Light Nair, then chases off stage. Isn't able to turn it into a KO. Neutral Sig's a plenty coming out once Pavelski has the sword in his hand.
You saw the way he was playing around that edge guard where he was looking for a second Nair there to try to steal out one of Simple's jumps, but Simple doing a really good job playing around that. Puts Pavelski into the offstage, does not hit the side air, and Pavelski going to punish with an N6 side air, and Pavelski takes the first stock.
Simple kind of crazy for going in unarmed on Pavelski over towards that side of the stage when Pavelski's like in the orange. It's not like the unarmed side air was free or would even lead to a KO there. That was definitely very risky from Simple and could hurt him as he's taking even more damage on this second stock. Already in the yellow, Pavelski still in the orange at this point. Now Simple's in the orange on his second stock. High neutral signature, not enough to KO, but still a gigantic lead for Pavelski.
I love the fact that Pavelski hits that sword neutral signature and at like basically any damage that isn't red is chasing after it looking for that side air, which is something that's very uncommon from the Vals out there. Usually they'll hit the N-Sig and they'll back off, and Pavelski's like, no, I get to maintain my pressure in this position.
And he's continuing that pressure now, 2 stocks up, putting Simple in a very bad spot as we get towards maybe the end of this game. 3 stock is definitely possible. That Nair hit a little bit low, but it didn't even send off screen. But the Dare, I'm surprised, is enough to KO based on where the Nair from before sent him. Coming in fresh on his second stock, easily gets the sword weapon spawn.
Jumping Dare from Pavelski, not going to land. Both of them jockeying for position, as Pavelski does have center stage, but Simple does get the first hit.
This damage build is not looking enough in the favor of Simple for him to possibly come out on top here. It's going to take a lot. Has Pavelski in the orange, but still the beginning stages of orange. It's another sidelight, but did take a hit in the process. Weapon spawn not going to do a lot of damage. They're almost in the same health, but Pavelski is still a stock ahead. Oh no, that's so bad for Simple. Both players in the red.
Some fantastic gauntlet strings coming out from Pavelski. Simple goes for the Mafia and gets the side air to finish it off. And now it's down to final stocks, but Simple's deep red. Pavelski, all he needs is a sword neutral sig, and it could lead to the knockout. Side sig will be the pick, and now it's going to be game 2 going 1-1, Simple and Pavelski.
That was a big lead that Pavelski was able to hold so much of that game. And it kind of started off of that unarmed side air that Simple was going for on the edge, pushing into Pavelski when Pavelski had the weapon advantage. That was sort of the beginning, but then it just snowballed and really turned into an avalanche towards the end.
You know, you're really critical of the side air, but I can't fault him too much personally, just because it was if it had hit, that would have been a nice lead for Simple. Unfortunately, he missed and it put him in a bad position. It was kind of one of those gamble plays. Yeah, it would have done. He didn't have jumps.
Nah, he would have been able to get back for sure. I don't think that would have led to KO at all.
I think he would have run out of jumps because Simple did that earlier. But we're here in game number 3, and we've got Simple and Pavelski. Simple with the weapon advantage, but Pavelski getting a little bit better in the damage department. He's got the gauntlets, but of course he wants the sword for the damage build.
Simple was playing low on that wall, so he was easily able to avoid the side signature from Pavelski, but the pressure that Pavelski put out was still there. They're so even so far in this game. I think Simple might be just in the lead, but that basically means nothing this early in.
Okay, punish the neutral signature though. Simple does have the hammer, but he throws it away. Still going in with these unarmed. There's the weapon spawn on the left side. The weapon gods definitely favoring Simple a little bit here in this set.
Who is Pavelski right now? Is he Kostelix with all those dashes?
The stash dancing. Running out of movement. Doesn't hit the down air, and Simple can get back safely. Just denying the touch. You saw Pavelski waiting for the opportunity, sitting on that left side. Needed the down air for the chase dodge, but didn't find the hit.
That's like an old Pavelski play of just waiting for the moment where he can make the big play and then just falling to his death because he waited too long for something that wasn't going to come.
Just relying on the opponent to make a mistake a little bit, and that time Simple played it perfectly. Gets caught by the double sidelight, but Pavelski didn't see the dodge come out, so he didn't throw out the recovery. Still has the opportunity, goes low for the recovery, to get the knockout and even up the stocks.
He also placed that recovery really well. Like, he was basically stacked on top of Simple. That kept him out of the danger zone of either a nair or a dare, likely going to be the move that Simple would be throwing out there. Okay!
Risky, risky. That stock is gone, and Simple now has a clean lead. Perfect stock to the one left of Pavelski.
And now we're seeing basically a complete 180 from the previous game we just saw, which is kind of something we saw yesterday from Simple and Heisen versus Acno and Blaze in twos.
Yeah, Simple, very good at taking full advantage of an opponent making a mistake like that. Nice downlight side air. Down sig, and Pavelski might be out of here. Yep, doesn't have the movement. Game 3, a clean 2 stocks to the 0 of Pavelski, and we're going right on into game number 4, and Pavelski making the swap.
That's Pavelski falling to his death there. You see that recovery into the weapon toss. And there you're seeing more weapon tosses coming out from Simple. Pavelski was making the move, and Simple was close. He was really close to going over there where Simple could have hit him, gotten the chase dodge, and gotten back onto the main platform. So good try from Pavelski there, and of course good recognition from Simple to put himself near so that he had sort of a sphere of influence around if Pavelski was able to get back, but not putting himself in danger. Pavelski just standing still for what felt like an actual eternity.
You just look away from the screen for a hot minute there, forget he was in a tournament, but already getting some good damage. Throws out the D-Sig. Good old Lucian 101, but not landing with it just yet. Gonna swap over to a different pair of Katars. He had primed it because he threw away the blasters. Blasters will likely be the knockout tool. He's gonna be looking for that downlight into the recovery.
Now you say that, but Pavelski is also really good at finding Lucian Sigs as KO options. He might not look for him here because like the side Sig that's a popular KO option for him, that's going to send at a 45-degree angle, which that's not really what you want to be looking for, especially if you're on a low-strength legend like Lucian coming out. So you might be right. He may really be swapping over to the blasters for the KO, or at least looking for the down signature on Katars, which on this map with a tiny wall is going to be a good option.
Couldn't get the pickup off the weapon toss. Did burn his recovery there, so he has slightly less movement, but did get back to the wall safely. Looking for the neutral signature, but Simple's above it. Avoids the weapon toss. Simple could get this stock soon. Has the hammer stomp side air, and that's going to be the stock advantage to Simple.
Even with the bounce off the stage, taking away some momentum and it being on the wrong side of the stage, still found the KO there. I'm not sure if Simple's in red. He did proc red by the second shot, and maybe that Sig has a little bit more strength than I thought it did, because you saw how close he was getting knocked out. Oh, man, back-to-back. Oh, no, and another one.
Something about getting hit 3 times in a row by a neutral light just kind of makes you rethink what you're doing in a game.
And it happens way more than you think it would. I know I run into sword in light after sword in light after sword in light all the time in ranked.
It can be rough, but Pavelski right now having a rough time finding this knockout. Went for the side air, the true follow-up, instead of the potential recovery knockout, which he would have had to catch Simple's movement. Down sig will lead to the knockout, and Pavelski going to wait an eternity before throwing away those blasters to go to the Katars.
And you saw that D-Light side air that you pointed out. That's like a classic Lucian move of hitting a D-Light side air when your opponent has a gorillion damage on their stock and it's still not KOing.
Dude, that 3 strength put into to make it 4 strength life. But Pavelski was getting good damage, but he eats a haymaker, and now Simple 1 stock between him and a winner's final spot.
Now keep in mind, 2 games ago, we might see the comeback here, going wide, deep into the push-off column with that ground pound, but you saw that huge lead that Pavelski had 2 games ago. When he won that one, that was his first dub in the set. Then Simple came back, and he was the one with the big lead. That was winning his 2nd game in the set. So now that we're on game 4, Simple's already up 2-1 in the set, has a huge lead here. Pavelski's going to need something big.
You see him hunting for the knockout tool, and Simple just cutting him up. No weapons left. This is looking like a Simple dub. A stomp and a side air would be enough. The recovery, he picked up the weapon after the unarmed downlight, and it still wasn't enough. Throwing out the N6, stomp, side air, and Simple gonna take it 3-1 over the EU World Champion to earn his spot in the winners final.
And Simple winning this set is very important for him going further. If they end up meeting in grand finals like you and I both predicted, he took out both of Pavelski's characters that he was looking for going into this tournament. And he did it on four really different weapons. He bested the gauntlets, he bested the sword, he bested the guitars, and he bested the blasters. That means Pavelski is gonna have to find something significant is going to have to change if he wants to come out on top on